Hello, my fam! A new mug today. With beard comes great responsibility. Thank you again, Simply Made. Greetings. You are simply amazing. I'm coming at you early if you're watching this live and chatting with me during the premiere, because I am on my way to Denver and I'm going to be speaking on a panel about influencers. I believe it's at 3:30 p.m. And then I'm doing a meet and greet at 5 afterwards. It's in Denver, part of Jules Wellness Your Way Festival. I hope to see you guys there. And then I realized I had this in my t-shirt collection, and I realized that I don't want to keep this. So I said I'm going to wear it for today's video and then burning this afterwards. I'm not really burning it, but getting rid of it. Yeah. You guys, even more Miley and Liam developments to get to. Yesterday, I took the day off from a daily recap and I gave you a music reaction video. If you didn't catch that yet, I won't spoil it for you, but make sure that you watch me listening and sharing my feedback live to Taylor Swift's new song and new single, Lover. And speaking of music and musicians, Miley Cyrus, the very latest spin, according to People magazine, which means that somebody in Miley's camp, directly a part of her inner circle, gave them information. And the story goes that Miley is having a hard time letting go of her long history with Liam Hemsworth. Oh, really? Then why was she just spotted with Kaitlynn Carter, her makeout partner, in Italy, in Los Angeles? The two of them were cruising together here and very publicly. They went for a ride in Miley's car. Miley was driving. They weren't in the back seat of a vehicle. The windows were down. These two attention-starved women wanted to be seen together and wanted to be photographed. And wanted to, I think, hurt their exes. Or am I reading too much into it? They could have hung out privately, discreetly, but no, they chose not to. If you haven't seen those photos of Miley and Kaitlynn, I will have the link down below. And of course, as always, I will have the links down below to almost everything that I talk about, but maybe not every single article, because I am frightened of putting the controversial things linked to them on YouTube for fear of being demonetized. So, from Miley to her friend-ish Katy Perry, I mentioned previously how Katy Perry's former co-star in the Teenage Dream music video alleged wrongdoing against her. I'm not saying what that wrongdoing was, because this video is going to have the green $ on it, but I will say, if you read PerezHilton.com, you know what that is. And now, another person has come forward and claimed that Katy did something similar. A woman this time. This woman claims that she was at a party that Katy Perry was at, that Katy was heavily intoxicated, inappropriately touched her, and then tried to kiss her. I believe this is something that Katy could have done. I don't think any time recently, but back in the day, yes. I believe it. I believe the guy as well. And what's troubling is a friend of mine texted, I don't think it's a big deal. And he thinks it's true. He thinks it's true and it's not a big deal. But I'm clearly starting to see a pattern. Those two incidents, and when she kissed the guy on American Idol without his consent and he was not feeling it. I think that we should treat everyone equally. men should be held to the same standard as women, and women should be held to the same standard as men. If it's not okay for men to be engaged in behavior like that, it shouldn't be okay for women to be engaged in behavior like that either. I think. What do you think? And we're told as a society that we must or should believe the alleged victims, and now there are two speaking out against Katy Perry. For more information on that story, I'll link to it because there are no keywords that could potentially flag this video. Speaking of controversy, I had no idea the CHRISLEY family was this messy. As I mentioned earlier in the week, TODD CHRISLEY and his wife, the co-stars of CHRISLEY Knows Best on the USA Network, are facing some major charges against the government, from the government, against them. From not paying taxes to fraud and more. Now, TODD CHRISLEY's estranged daughter is embroiled in her own controversy having to do with the family. And this story I will not link to, and I must be very careful how I word it, but Lindsay CHRISLEY went to the authorities to let them know that her own family was harassing her, threatening her over an alleged adult video that she made with a Bachelor Nation star. She also, according to the family, according to her dad, who is clearly estranged, had an extramarital affair with two Bachelor Nation co-stars. I don't know why this is, but it seems like more Bachelor and Bachelorette alums have moved to Nashville and are living in Nashville than they are in Los Angeles. So many Bachelor and Bachelorette people are there, and that's where the CHRISLEYs are based out of. But they say that she hooked up with Robbie Hayes and Josh Murray, and the alleged adult video was made with Robbie. TODD CHRISLEY released a statement saying it's heartbreaking and shameful that these kind of accusations have to be aired in public. We've tried to keep Lindsay's extramarital relationships with Robbie Hayes and Josh Murray private for her sake. Why did you need to name the guys? Right there's a red flag. Dad, you didn't need to name who those dudes were. Sadly, for reasons we can only guess at, she ran to the sheriff's office to accuse her brother of buying a blank tape of her and Robbie, which was a complete lie. And now she's telling more lies about me. Blah, 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 blah. Lindsay, for her part, her lawyer released a statement saying Lindsay would like nothing more than to be left alone and go about her own business. Unfortunately, certain members of her family would not let her live in peace. Blah, 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 blah. We are flabbergasted at the audacity of TODD and Chase CHRISLEY, who are more focused on attacking my client rather than defending themselves against the allegations of criminal misconduct. I hope that all of this is on the show. It needs to be. I may have to start watching then. What I do need to do, definitely, is thank Eric Sims. Holy guacamole. Not only did Eric Sims super chat me, but he left me the kindest message. Eric Sims, that really touched me. I cannot thank you enough. Also, my Fram-tastic Fram member, Tara Jenkins. I love you. Also, Ananda Kate, whom, if I remember correctly, is Canadian. And I also think she has an ASMR channel. So check her out. And also, DJ Rockstar Aaron, whom I think I'm going to see later today in Denver. Yay! Oh my God, there's so much to catch you up on. If you didn't see the video, there is video of Conor McGregor getting physical. And I'm wording this very carefully so as to not be controversial, so as to not be demonetized, okay? I'm not even saying what happened in detail. Conor got very physical with an older gentleman at a bar in Dublin, a pub, the Marble Arch pub. This all happened in April, but the video just leaked. And some words were exchanged, and you could see that Conor wanted to serve several people at the bar his liquor, proper 12, and the guy didn't want it. No matter what that guy said to Conor McGregor, he should not have responded the way that he did. And this is not the first time that he's responded in such a way outside of the ring. He had an incident earlier this year outside the Fontainebleau Hilton in Miami Beach. He had, of course, the very famous incident last year where he got very physical outside the ring with fellow MMA fighters. Hopefully, Conor McGregor serves jail time over this latest incident. You're a trained professional that could so seriously harm somebody, especially an older gentleman. After this went down and the video leaked, I had to go and unfollow Conor McGregor on Instagram, which honestly I should have done sooner. I just can't support that. The police in Dublin are said to still be investigating the situation. But from that fighter to a driver, a race car driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he and his family had the scariest incident earlier this week. On Thursday, they were aboard one of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s private planes when it crashed, burst into flames, and miraculously, he and his family were left okay. They were not burned or seriously injured. Wow. You know, I am afraid of small private planes, and this one I think was just a 10-seater. If you are going to go on a private plane, make sure it's a big one. It also reminds me of that one story of that one Russian airline this week that was hit by seagulls and crashed. But thankfully, the 200 plus people miraculously all lived. Don't be afraid of plane travel. Traveling by air is still safer than being in a car. And please don't ride motorcycles, my friend. Don't ride I hate motorcycles. Yes, somebody I know died riding a motorcycle. Just don't do it. Don't smoke cigarettes also, since I'm just talking. I've got your attention. I want to talk about things that are important to me and fun and trivial things and all sorts of things. So from that race car driver to a BMX bike racer, Corey Bohan, the ex of Audrina Patridge from the Hills, continues to try and defend himself against the allegations she made against him, which are very serious, concerning their daughter. He says, quote, "For all the innocent fathers out there being horrendously accused with false and sickening accusations, do not give up. The truth will always surface. Fight the good fight." That was the caption underneath a text post that he posted. The text said, "While it is not in my nature to do sit-down interviews or to twist the truth per the press, I absolutely refuse to sit silently while having my character assassinated by way of those wholly false and vile claims against me. I don't live a life distorted for television and entertainment purposes. I live one life based in sincerity, respect, and the utmost love for my daughter. I trust that the truth will see the light very soon. Enough is enough. I just hope this was all one big misunderstanding. I think Audrina said what she said based on information she got from the pediatrician. I don't know. Let us all just send positive vibes to that child, both now, and I'm projecting positivity for little Kira in the future when she goes back and reads all of this. In other this is positive news. Danny Masterson and the Church of Scientology are both being sued by several women who make some very harsh and I think true allegations, these multiple women, against both Danny Masterson and the Church of Scientology. You can read more in detail on PerezHilton.com. It still boggles my mind that in the United States, we recognize the Church of Scientology as a church. It's a cult. And many countries do not recognize and grant legal status to the Church of Scientology. And tax-exempt status, and hopefully these women see justice and also can create positive change as a result of this lawsuit. Speaking of positive news and positive change, I can't pronounce his last name, Margera, however you want to pronounce it, he has checked back into rehab following his arrest earlier this week. Hopefully he stays in rehab. Por favor. This guy needs a lot of help. You know who doesn't need any help? Willa Bean. She is just super chatted me. I want to help her. How can I help my super chatters? In addition to just naming them, like Anna Patton, whom I love so much, and Dee Soares, a regular super chatter. Any single little bit is just, it makes me feel so appreciated and validated. So thank you. And Elizabeth Garcia, the biggest hug, Elizabeth Garcia, Willa Bean, Anna Patton, and Dee Soares. I love you. And I love it. I've still got really good stuff to give, not even front loading it throughout. Okay. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry went on a secret vacation with little Archie to Ibiza, which is how the Spaniards pronounce it. Cubans would say Ibiza. No, I think Ibiza. Calabaza. Yeah, Ibiza. No, I think Cubans, Ibiza, we would say Ibiza, but we would say calabaza, not calabaza. Anyways, Spaniards in Spain pronounce the Z different than Latin America and the Caribbean. Meghan and Harry went there and were very discreet and low-key. I talked in a video recently about how in the new issue of British Vogue, Prince Harry says he only wants to have 2 children, max, because that's what's best for the environment, because we're overpopulated. He's a big environmentalist. And he flew private plane to Ibiza. That does not seem very green to me. Is Prince Harry a hypocrite? That's a rhetorical question. Duh, of course he is. So is Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, only flies private, but he's all about, the environment and this, that, and the other. You can fly first class, people. The hypocrisy. It's shocking. I'm going to end things today with a story that I have to be very careful about. I'm going to update you on that Julianne Hough story. You know the one I'm talking about with her and her toes? Well, without saying anything that would get me demonetized, her husband revealed a toe story. And she wants to clarify that she lets her husband do that because he likes it. But she does not like it. She's a good wife. And hopefully her husband does not pull a DJ Khaled on her, if you know what I mean. I am flying back first thing tomorrow from Denver, so I will be back at you tomorrow. Your boy is a beast, a machine, and works nonstop. I'm so thankful and appreciative of you and your time. Your time is precious. You give it to me when you could be consuming so many other things. Thank you. I love you. And I will just ask one thing. I'm using a new service. If you want to get personalized video greetings from me, I can now give you, and actually what I love about it is Starsona is the name of the service, like Persona, but Starsona. If you want to ask, if you want to do a Q&A with me or ask me a question or let me see you and respond to your video, you can do that on Starsona. So get a personalized video greeting from me at starsona.com/Perez Hilton or directly at the Starsona app. Starsona, that's STARSONA.com/Perez Hilton. I love you, and you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. That's it. Salud, good health, and lots of green coming your way. Money, 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 money. Mwah.